Morning Gamer, Gaming Morning Show kicks off this morning on Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. Thanks for being with us wherever you may be. He is Sean, I am Ryan. It is just past 6 o'clock West Coast time. We're with you for 3 consecutive hours. Just like once the Lakers won 3 consecutive championships, which could be the start of a new run, as we're all just still on a high from Sunday's 17th LA Lakers championship. I mean, Sean hasn't stopped talking about it.
I doubt it.
Doubt it. Nah, I'm just teasing, but the 3 hours is real. We're definitely going to still be here till 9 o'clock Pacific time this morning, as we are Monday through Friday on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. You can always type in gms.watch and follow us on Twitter at WatchGMS. Like I said, I am Ryan. He is Sean. This day in gaming history, we have birthdays to celebrate with you. So if you have a birthday that you want to celebrate, put it in the chat, would you please? We'd love to celebrate. Also, the morning gaming news coming up as well, and we will make a collective democratic decision on our name of the morning. And by that, I mean Sean's going to tell me what it is, and I'm going to laugh or say, no, I disagree. I mean, yeah. Look at this screen, right? Like, this screen was built for, like, debate shows. You and me, I mean, we could be on ESPN, you know, talking and yelling at each other constantly with this format. I mean, look at this thing. It's all designed. It's great.
It's pretty solid.
Where should we...
speaking of debates, and I don't think this should be an everyday thing, because I think it'd get exhausting to do. But I think at some point, for our top 10, we should create a top 10. Something that we both know a lot about, which I don't actually have a topic in mind, so I'm not teasing anything. And then on the spot, we debate and create a top 10.
Donuts. That's write it down.
I put them at number 1.
Timestamp. That'll be our first debate show, because yesterday
Donuts.
You guys all drug me to the pumpkin patch. The only good thing that comes out of going to a pumpkin patch is pumpkin donuts.
And apple cider donuts.
Donuts. Synopsis. Maybe if they have some beer at the pumpkin patch, then that could be good. I don't know. This was a phrase I think my wife said, you know, who hurt me, right? I don't know where the pumpkin patch didn't settle in on my fun things to do list, but it is not fun for me to go to the pumpkin patch. And then we went out there yesterday too, kind of as like our first venture out of the house since the pandemic started, where we were actually subjecting ourselves to possibly more people. Whereas like before, you like hop in the grocery store and it's like a Mission Impossible mission where I'm dangling from the roof by a cable and Tom Cruise is there for some reason. Maybe that's a dream I had, I don't know. So anyway, it was like this combination of the two things. We get to the first pumpkin patch, which I think is the one we always go to when I mean, this is an annual event. You do this to me every year. Right? I mean, that's the one we usually go to, and it was a little bit busy.
Yeah, it was too busy for our needs. And it would have been fine, but like, even when there's not a pandemic, when there's a line to get in, we're like, we could come back another day. Because you're already going to be mingling with the crowd inside the pumpkin patch, and you still have to come out and pay for your pumpkins, and like, it was too much, and wasn't worth it when there are other options.
I just don't know how the pumpkin patch became the go-to way to get a jack-o'-lantern. Like, when did that happen? Because I remember specifically driving to the store, and there were pumpkins there. And so we would say, I will take that pumpkin, please. And we were done in like 10 minutes. It was amazing.
Yeah. Do pumpkins grow well in Montana?
I assume so. Do I look like a farmer? I don't know. Maybe.
I wonder if that's part of it, because I grew up going to, not every year, but I grew up and we'd go to a pumpkin patch some years and do all of the festivities and stuff like that. We even grew our own pumpkins one year in California. That was fun.
Wow.
So I had it growing up, and then we've done it the whole time Veronica and I have been together, especially when we had kids. We would go. So maybe it's a Montana thing. Maybe you couldn't go to a pumpkin patch because Montana hates pumpkins.
I mean, pumpkins kind of strike me as something that seems to grow almost everywhere.
I think so, but I don't know anything about gourds.
And I'm with you. Like I don't know either, but it just seems like you don't go many places where it's like, God, have you ever seen a pumpkin? No, we can't get. It's not like an orange, right? Like we're gonna have a hard time growing oranges here. All right. Well, I don't know. It was good to get out of the house. Anyway, we settled on another place that had like one car in the parking lot. That was really cool. Also, the fact that like I think you walked away with 437 pounds of pumpkins, and it cost you like $8. Okay, it wasn't that cheap. Mine were like $6.
I think she was just making stuff up. Because I swear, we'll our first, so we got giant pumpkins and we had to get a couple extra. So I had 2 wheelbarrows. I rolled the first one on which I swear was the heavier of the 2, and she goes, $7. I rolled the second one on, which I thought was lighter, and she's like $13.50 or something like that. It's like, none of this makes any sense. Either you're using that calculator wrong, or your scale is just shooting out numbers.
I mean, I stood on that scale, and that thing said 129 pounds. I promise you, man. Especially, 6 months into pandemic, this man ate 129 pounds. I agree with you. And I remember her doing some sort of equation where it was like 42 pounds. Okay, minus 25. All right, you owe me $13. So I'm like, okay.
Well, I don't think could it have been kilograms? I don't think it was kilograms, because 129 kilograms is like 280 pounds.
Well, actually, I don't know. And that's why I'm saying I thought it was kilograms too, because I'm like,
it must just be arbitrary pumpkin units.
The old APUs. I went for a big long walk yesterday because mostly I was curious how quickly I could get to your house on foot. And I did this impromptu. I told my wife, I was like, I need to go for a walk. I'm gonna go for a walk like 7:30, right when the kids are asleep. And took off and set a timer for 30 minutes because I thought I could get there and back if I just went and touched your door and then walked back to my house. I thought I could get there round trip in maybe 30 minutes. The reality is I think it might be possible. I would have to be in significantly better shape. I also took 2 different like wrong turns trying to get there off memory. But all of a sudden, Sean had some random person walking into his house at 7:45, 7:50, and it kind of dawned on me that maybe like you weren't getting my messages, and so I got really scared that I was an intruder.
Nah. Yeah, it was funny though, because I saw our door we have windows to the left of our door, and then we have a window like right next to our door, and in the windows I saw movement out of the corner of my eye, and so, which is usually people walking by, because a lot of people walk by on our street, and so I saw movement, and I usually watch to see who's walking by, and then instead of someone walking by on the sidewalk, you walked by towards our door, and my first instinct was like, who the heck's coming to our door at 9 p.m. But then I was like, oh, it's Ryan, and then instead of knocking, you walked in, which wasn't a problem at all.
Thank God, because
it didn't phase anyone. So, I think you got one of these from my wife. Oh, hi.
I mean, the door was slightly cracked, and I had sent messages to Sean thinking that like he was getting these voice messages that were announcing my arrival, which was kind of more of a, hey, I'm testing the waters to see if like, I actually do open your door, like if you're going to be willing to drink a seltzer with me, because he has these new seltzers that we were super excited about. I should have taken a picture or remembered the name. I think you took a picture, actually.
Yeah.
I'll see. We had them last night. They're from Bend, Oregon. because we have tried to branch out of like the White Claw, Bud Light seltzer only. Yeah, here they are right here. 7 Peaks hard seltzer. And so we had the one that has pineapple flavor added to it, and it was pretty good, all things considered. I'd rate it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. No, they were good. I think, as we determined last night, I don't know if I would. So far, that's the only flavor we've had. I don't know if I'd specifically buy that pack again, but if it was there, I would for sure drink it.
True.
It was tasty. I think my biggest issue with it, and this is a discussion we had last night, is it's a cider company, and they're just barely not cider. So I really think they just made a cider, and they're like, hey, this is a pretty good cider, but we need to get on this hard seltzer bandwagon. They're like, let's just put a little bit of carbonated water in there, and now it's a seltzer.
Yep. No, mix it, cut it. What is that, cutting? That's what you do with drugs? I don't know. I'm also not a farmer nor a drug lord. But you cut the drugs, right? You cut the seltzer. It was good. It was nice and refreshing, and I got to hang out on your deck, which I'm always excited about. And then I walked back, and I got home in about 17, 18 minutes, walking directly and at a little brisker pace. Although the stairs walking up from your elevation to the elevation that's up by the school near your house, holy cow.
Yeah, those stairs, they're not messing around.
Lung capacity is low in this out of shapeness that I have from the pandemic seat. We are asking you today about Apple's event. It's happening today at 10 a.m. And I didn't think that Apple was going to do an iPhone at all from their first event. And then, like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, all of a sudden these rumors and proof, I guess, announcements even, like, what happened? That they don't do this way, right? This is odd to me.
No, everything's delayed by a little bit, just pandemic. And really, depending on when they say it comes out, what I had heard was everything was going to be off by about 6 months. But usually they announce their phones in September, so the announcement's only off by a month. I don't know if they're not coming out for a while or what, but yeah, we'll see.
It's really bizarre. Yeah, I was not expecting to see a phone today.
Middle. Yeah, so we'll have to check that out.
He's gonna be so mad.
The other guy has 36, as do you.
And we're off to a banger start. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It could have been.
Do you want to talk about it?
Could have been 1-0. I'm just saying.
Oh man. The other guy's right. Yep.
That time I didn't throw a grenade at him. Instead, I decided to shoot him with my bullets.
That's fantastic.
All right. There we go. It's 2-0.
What would have been even better is if that had somehow worked.
If only had it been a Semtex.
Oh man.
I would have walked around that corner, pegged him with a... although he probably would have killed me before the Semtex went off. That guy's muzzle was in your chest.
Man, mine was in his. The difference is he had a shotgun out.
Oh, dang it, I missed my jump. He's in the back crate. He has 4 health. But I like how you
tried
waited.
to flash me and run away.
I like how you waited. And it's like, I'm going to shoot him while blind.
He was scared.
So with the Apple event today, what we're wondering from you is, are you still going to go Apple if you're... Oh, wow. Simultaneous death. Or are you going to make a switch? I'm curious, because I am going to stay Apple because I've had, Apple forever, and
yeah.
I have everything else tied into it, including AirDrop. Like, I don't want to make a change. And I'm wondering what they're going to announce, too. He's right back left. almost ran out of ammo.
Yeah, I'll be staying Apple for sure. I think our current plan, we
Let's get to work.
update every 18 months, which I think would put us just after the new year, I think.
Back in the middle. He's back on our side now. Dumpsters. He moved.
Oh,
Let's try. And I just don't know really what I want. I mean, I'm still using an iPhone 8, and I haven't. I mean, the new cameras, and especially some of the video that comes off the 11, like that would be cool.
it is nice. And see, that's the thing, is the last couple updates, can't say there's anything that's been amazing that it's like, oh, I'm definitely getting that. But we're on a plan where we get to upgrade free. We trade in our old phones and we get the new ones, and we're paying what, like $20 a month for them. We're on that sort of thing, which we're just used to paying that, so it doesn't really phase us. And then we get a new phone, and so for me it's just okay, well, any of the tiny scratches have gone away, the battery life is better again, and I get some of these small iterative improvements every phone. So I haven't seen anything for a while that's like, oh, I have to get that. But if it's like, oh, well, I can keep paying the same amount and get a new phone, sure, I'll do that. So we've done that for years and years, so we'll keep at it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens out of the event today, and if there's something revolutionary, because that seems to be the thing that Apple was always so good at, was something, if not every year, every other year, there was something that was there. According to Mac Rumors, quote unquote, the tech company likely to reveal the iPhone with 5G, updates on its HomePod speakers as well. Typically announced in September, as you mentioned. They haven't because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's going to be at 10 a.m. this morning. Apple expected to make that announcement for their new iPhone. 6:20 now, West Coast time, 9:20 on the East. Gaming Morning Show continues. We're going to have Gaming Morning Show, morning gaming news. In just a little bit, we're playing some Gunfight. And want to hear from you. We have birthdays coming up. Do you know where they put the birthdays?
I think they just shout them to the ethers.
Just yell as loudly as you can. Someone will hear you.
The one thing I heard they'll be announcing for the phones, and I think it might just be for the Pro Max, which is disappointing, is 120 hertz screen.
They're both back.
God, I thought this guy saw me like 3 times and he just won't come fight me. I just had to reload. So yeah, 120 hertz as opposed to the 60 hertz. But if that's only for the Pro Max, I haven't been doing Max, so that won't really mean anything for me. One guy's coming down the right side. So the other guy should be in our spawn.
Yep, he was. Nice just call out. Boo. Boo. And they really like that marksman with this shotgun.
Yep.
I just missed. He's up on the stairs.
One round gone. We're not dead yet, are we, lads?
I think I'm lacking like a little bit of like an umptu right now. Like I'm being so nonchalant with I'm just like moseying around, and these people are shooting me right in the face. Should be right. Oh, you killed him. Yeah. He is behind me. Dang it.
Yeah, I kept hearing him somewhere. I think he might have been up at first and dropped down.
Shooting.
Head in, stay
Good start. Okay, one stay in the middle.
And one's up on the right. Drop back.
Oh,
Ooh,
I think
nice
he was
try.
standing right there as I went around the corner. Just didn't see him. Yeah, he was. I think I was looking more righty.
Righty tighty.
We got some Obi-Wan news too. Let's see.
You're all we've got.
44 to 100.
Oh, just couldn't get to him. I was so close. I was just shooting right to his left. Did he mount? Nice
He
work.
sure did. I don't know if he meant to, but he sure did.
He sure did.
They're everywhere. I hear them everywhere. Ah, I got surrounded. They're both right
You're
side.
the last man standing. We're losing ground. Let's take it back.
Nice try.
I'd hoped maybe he'd already used one.
Switching sides. They're on match point. We've got to even the score.
Do you think that you dislike the pumpkin patch because it usually falls on Broncos pie?
Well, no, that's not always the case. I mean, that's why, though, we're going to have to go back apparently and move more stuff from the in-laws' house. And they're like, you can do it Sunday or Monday. And I'm like, Monday. like, oh, we're not messing with football.
10 seconds.
Oh.
Nice work.
We've got them on the rope. Don't let your guard down.
But yeah, maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. Like, we even went, though. This was a Monday.
Yep.
They win this, they win
And that's
it
why,
all.
like,
Time to
I
push.
think I was annoyed that it was actually fairly busy because it's like, it's a Monday.
It was also a holiday, which we forgot about.
You're the last man standing.
Yeah, it was
the loss.
holiday-ish, and none of the kids in this area have school on Monday. At least the elementary school. None of them have school on Monday. So I wonder if it's just Monday's a bonus weekend day right now.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But either way, the donuts are good. So I think I'll actually have a donut right now because it's sitting right there, and you're going to be doing the talking, and it's delicious. So, you know, I think that's the best news of the day. I don't know. Maybe you're going to have better stuff for us. 6:26 on the West Coast. Thanks for watching Gaming Morning Show. He's Sean. I am Ryan. We will be with you till 9 o'clock Pacific time. Coming up this day in gaming history, and a chance for you to let us know about birthdays you want to celebrate, because we want to celebrate with you. We'll also tell you how you fit 37 pounds of meth in a spare tire. So, you know, there's ways to accomplish anything if you put your mind to it. Right now, though, at 6:27, let's head to the newsroom. Get the headlines of the day. You can follow us on Twitter as well at WatchGMS. Here's hashtag video game expert Sean.
Good morning. Today is October 13th, 2020, and this is your Gaming Morning Show, morning gaming news. First up, we got some developer updates. Rockstar Games, developer of Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're Grand Theft Auto is just this small little game. Might catch on
Well,
Sunday.
yeah, they'll figure it out.
They purchased Ruffian Games. Go ahead, make the reference. Are you gonna make the Hamilton reference about ruffians?
No, the only thing I could think of was Rapunzel. and
Aw.
Tangled and all their ruffians.
The Ruffian Games developed the Crackdown and Crackdown 2 games. So Rockstar purchased that
Wait,
developer.
what the hell's the Hamilton reference?
Uh, it's Hercules Mulligan. He says something about going up against the ruffians. You knock me down, I get the F back up again.
No,
You-
I
you
didn't
don't-
have that one for you. I'm so sorry.
So disappointing. Um, so yeah, they purchased Ruffian Games, and Rockstar just gets bigger, which is not a bad thing. Next up, PlayStation backwards compatibility. I know we haven't heard anything about anything when it comes to backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 5, so we're finally getting some news. This one's actually about the PlayStation VR, which we knew for a while was going to be backwards compatible with PlayStation 5, but we got some more details regarding that yesterday. The biggest new thing is the camera. You'll either need your current camera will need an adapter because the input for the new camera on the PlayStation 5 is going to be different. You'll need an adapter, which thankfully is free. I think it might even come with the system. Or you can buy the new PlayStation 5 camera, which looks nice and is a higher quality camera. So I don't know why this was such a big story since the adapter comes with it. But there it is. So get a new camera or use the adapter included in the box.
So they're not going the Apple way, where it's you have to find 13 different adapters to make things work.
So far,
I mean, I think
there's still time.
I think Apple low key had become a kids gaming company as well, because they started to build building blocks through adapters, and you can make your own caterpillar. Okay, and you just drank space, which was nuts. Yeah. You just drink space. Yeah, because it's a green. Yep. Yeah, drinking space.
And then last news story of the day. We got a tease that October 15th, which is Thursday, there will be a PlayStation 5 announcement. This came via Burger King's Twitter, where they posted a brief video of the king opening up a bag, and you hear what is assumed to be the PlayStation 5 startup sound and a glowing light coming out of the bag with the caption, "Do Whopper sandwiches normally do this?" So we're getting some sort of cross-promotional announcement on the 15th. Some have speculated, which I'm hoping this is the case, that this is our UI announcement, so we can see what the actual system's going to look like and get some of the announcements for the quality of life improvements in terms of the UI and communication and that kind of stuff. Or it could be a tease for Sneak King 2 for the PlayStation 5 via Burger King, which would be awful because that game was terrible. There's also rumors that they during this, because it's cross promotion with Burger King, that they'll be announcing some sort of competition with Burger King where you can enter to win a PlayStation 5.
So this isn't a thing where if you buy like a Whopper or two, you get a PlayStation.
Maybe every million or so, when you order a Whopper instead of a Whopper, there's an actual PlayStation 5 in the bag. You'll know because the bag will be 5 times the size. So we'll keep an eye out on that. That's on Thursday. I don't believe there was a time attached to this, but my guess is it's 10 a.m. because everything's been 10 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, everything has been 10 a.m. The show really should continue just all the way till 11 o'clock Pacific time, because we always miss the good stuff.
We miss it. So close. And always last but never ever least, we finish off today's Gaming Morning Show morning gaming news with the world-renowned segment within a segment, where we have lots of pumpkin, lots of donuts, lots of seltzers. This is what is out today. Pretty big list. I narrowed this down a little bit and it still seems long. We have Remothered Broken Porcelain out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Prinny 1-2 Exploded and Reloaded out on Switch. Torchlight 3 on PS4, Xbox One, PC. Foregone on Xbox One. Second Extinction out on PC. Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest out on PC. Night Vision Drive Forever out on PC. Biomass out on PC. Venture Valley out on PC and Mac. Zombie Hills out on PC and Mac. And for the most prestigious award in video game focused morning shows, your segment within a segment within a segment. Today, name of the morning goes to Dung Beetle Strike out on PC.
You couldn't go with what was that? Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest.
I thought about it, but I get so stuck in it's the longest one and it's kind of funny thing, so I went with Dung Beetle Strike.
That's
which
true.
I hope is a fighting game where you play as beetles.
I guess it is true because you kind of have, sometimes the longest name is easy to pick as the best name, and really, maybe that's not the case. I also really liked Remothered Broken Porcelain.
Yeah, that one was up there. Someday when I'm having a hard time picking name of the morning, I'm just gonna take the 3 or 4 that are on my list and put them towards the end, and whichever one gets the biggest laugh will win.
That would be pretty easy for me because I'm very good at laughing at the names of the morning. That's my favorite part of this segment. Congratulations to Dung Beetle Strike as Sean exits the newsroom. You are our name of the morning. You're now eligible to be name of the month at the end of October. Who will it be? Yesterday we had Rhyme Storm, which I know you told me I'm not supposed to look at the games necessarily, or at least you don't.
You're allowed to. Yeah.
This one looks kind of cool, Rhyme Storm. I'm not going to lie. So I hope we can get
Nice.
their creator onto the show at some point. We have rumors, by the way, that we might have a second guest soon on the show. So we're going to work on that after today's show. In case you missed our interview last week with Throw Me in the River creator Reese Manick, it is available on our YouTube page as well as pinned at the top of our Twitter at WatchGMS. But Dung Beetle Strike is out today on Steam. Oh, he shot me good. Back right. He's behind the second column.
Ooh.
He shot me real good.
Why'd you let him do that? Also, why is he just waiting for us up on spawn?
Because you win that way.
But it's so boring.
We shared it in the chat. Dung Beetle Strike actually looks very colorful.
Right side tires.
Last man standing, finishing.
I'm gonna die, clown. Yep.
One round gone. We're not
Boo.
I only had one shot. I missed my first one. Getting stunned didn't help.
Oh, and you got it from up top as well.
fire, go.
All right, well, moving on from that. Loadout.
Granada!
He's camping in spawn again.
We're losing ground. Let's take it back.
Wow. Wow. This is brutal so far. Yep, they're just hanging back. Yeah, you don't like that weapon.
Forget
I
that
hate
round.
it.
On to the next.
It's a no-go. We got This Day in Gaming History coming up too, and birthdays at 6:37 Pacific time.
Let's get this done.
So stick around for that. You have Stim. I don't, but you do.
You have a frag.
I got the back right guy really low. He's got 2 health. He was behind that column. He's now shooting you. Oh, he stimmed. He has 3 health now. He stimmed.
Ah,
They're making us fight for it. Keep
we
at it.
took like 280 health out of that guy.
Alright. I'm just going to cook a grenade and throw it back there.
They win this, they win it all. Time to push.
Do. But you can't guess where he is. Stim. I don't get it.
Back, soldier.
It's alright. We lost. We're losers. That's fast, though. At least the games are going quickly. There's a win. Huh? Fitting our format, which is what we want. Ooh. Dun 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 bum 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 bum. Yeah, we're sharing a whole bunch of fun stuff on our Twitter yesterday. We shared someone playing Paper Mario: A 1,000-Year Story, I think is what we talked about yesterday, 1,000-Year Door, which came out this day in gaming history. So someone was actually playing it on Twitch, so we shared that out. I actually surprised you didn't have this from Gene Park, who shared the link to the Sonic and Knuckles skins in Fall Guys.
I did see that. I've been pulling back on most Fall Guys news just because we haven't been playing it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, that's kind of cool. I like that they did a crossover with another game.
Yeah, it's super creepy.
What's super creepy about that?
His proportions are so weird.
I do think the Knuckles one is actually better.
Yeah.
But who's the Fox's Tails, right?
Yeah.
When are we gonna get our
Sonic,
Tails skin, man?
I don't know. Maybe they couldn't figure out having so many
Gunfight.
tails messed up the physics.
Eliminate our enemies or capture the
Oh
USS
yeah.
Atlantic.
What are you supposed to do in tail tag?
That's funny. We all have tails.
I will share the 37 pounds of meth story next.
He's in the blue crate.
I blew
Ugh.
myself up.
On to the next.
Weird.
It is kind of strange. I threw that grenade. It took forever to explode.
I'm going right.
Me too. Right into their bullets.
Oh, they're both here. Oh, he came through the blue crate. Watch behind you.
Good call out.
Focus up for the next round.
Had you killed the other one?
Nope. He's still hiding behind those barrels because he has no interest in actually playing this game.
I think this might be your last run of gunfight for the morning. We might play Warzone to wrap it up. Oh no! I was reaching for my melee button. Yeah, this sucked right here. I don't know why you ran away from me.
He was scared.
I was stunned. I was stunned that he ran away from me.
I cannot kill anybody.
Focus up for the next round.
I actually thought I had that guy on the element of surprise.
I for sure had my guy. Like, I shot him like 20 times.
My guy, my guy, my guy.
I'm going
Talking
right up the
about
middle.
my guy. I'm so bad at this game.
Just come fight me. Gosh. You and I are facing each other with guns. Stop running away. Just shoot me. Get it over with.
Tell me how you really feel.
Feel bad. That looks cool. He's in our spawn.
I didn't have any throwables left.
You clicked
did.
that button real good though.
If that button had been a throwable, he was dead.
Hey, look, marksman rifle, shotgun.
One went left. Did I just like get in between him and you? Because I feel like that's the only reason I got shot.
Yeah, no, you walked right in his fire.
That was what you would call an epic marksman fight, which is always the worst kind of fight.
That's the worst.
Time to push.
Alright, I'm going up the middle again.
Thank you.
Let's get back out there.
He missed me a lot.
Yeah. You distracted him just long enough.
Take this round, we stay in the fight.
Stem.
Like, we'll use it. Nice work.
2 wins down. Stay on them.
But if you'd missed every shot and they rotated to the left, I was on them. Nice shots.
Thank you.
They're on match point. Even the score.
Alright, I'm going up the middle again. Oh, he's behind the barrels on the right side. He's pushing up now. Don't
What?
turn your back to him.
He was well. I.
Oh. He got us.
Oh yeah, that's ball game. All right, 37 pounds of meth. 6:45 a.m. This happened in Mississippi.
How do you spell that?
Well, it starts with an.
Where do you live? I'll spell it for you. 29 M's, ISS, ISS, IPVI.
Oh man. Mississippi is the side of this story. So there was a car and a driver and 37 pounds of meth. And he got busted. All right, no, seriously, this is what happened. There was a traffic stop, and it was a Scotts County sheriff stopped a pickup. They were in Flowood. I like that town, Flowood. It was early morning. Someone driving in a careless manner. Officer conducted the stop. There was a tire in the bed of the truck. And inside the tire was 37. That had to be the heaviest tire. Because tires aren't light per se to begin with. And then when they're 37 pounds heavier. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. This is from WLBT TV. Apparently with $350,000 worth of meth. The driver also got charged with aggravated trafficking methamphetamine. But that happened in Mississippi. I thought it was Florida, but I think I have either another Florida story or Florida, So, oh my gosh.
It's so good. You started with the right sound.
I
so
did. Although I think the majority of states start with M, so I was in a safe place to begin with.
It would have been better had you, because you thought it started in Florida, started with Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Spelled F-F-F-F-F-F-F-F-F-M-I-S-S-I-P-P-I.
Flowood. I really like that name. Yeah, Flowood. That's why I think that would sound like it rolls, off the tongue. Well, Flowood.
Eliminate all enemies
there was
or
a
capture the overtime plan.
Deadwood. Yeah, like Deadwood. Tonight on HBO. That's good.
Oh, you're so pretty.
Kill them all or die trying.
Careful, you have a bullseye on your butt.
I didn't paint. We're gonna lose. I let you die and then I shot him.
So be
I'll
it.
take decoy. I needed to reload.
He was very green. He blended in nicely with the pines.
La Pines. I'm with you.
Man, how did he hit me so easily? I think one's left house.
Shoot her! He's down. He's down. He's down.
Thank you. I didn't see him fall down there. I was watching the house.
No, he ran down the stairs and killed me.
Shoot her! Shoot her! It's probably the best line in the whole movie, other than the dinosaurs.
Well, this is quite the marksman rifle battle.
You're all that is left. Finish it.
Hello. The other one was going right. Hit him. Ooh, crate.
Oh,
Nice
so
try.
close.
Raise your weapon. We're not finished yet.
I mean, he was kind of being the aggressor. I probably should have just hung back instead. I hopped out, but I didn't like to sit there.
That's because that's not what we do. Because that's boring.
Boring.
That's what other people do.
That's what they want you to do. Oh, he shot me better.
Next round. Pick it up.
How's it going? How you doing?
Do you see him lying in spawn? Don't lie in
No
spawn.
mistakes.
Don't
no
do it.
prisoners.
It's
Yeah,
boring.
always tell the truth, okay?
Oh, people.
Oh, he's behind me.
We're not done yet.
Man,
Make
I
it
just
happen.
guessed wrong. Yeah, see, I blinded him. I thought he was around the blue crate.
Going up the middle. Left house and back in spawn, I think.
I just,
On to the next round. Pick it up.
I'm not gonna use that pistol, so I
Forward.
threw.
No mercy.
Hey, real weapon though. That's a win.
That's better. Going left house.
Oh, you killed my guy.
The other one's by the jeep.
That's you.
He's by the jeep. We're on top of each other. I am dead.
Maintain pressure. Next round we crush.
Why'd you lie down on him?
That guy just wants to hide and play sneaky.
I just threw a grenade at him and hurt him. And then shot him once in the spleen.
The spleen.
The spleen. Okay, left house looks like they're not coming. Yep, now he is. Now he is. Nice job. I got blinded.
By the light?
He was on the Jeep. I saved your life.
Did you just save my life?
Blinded by the light, he jumped up on the Jeep and I saved your life.
Tears them down. Go.
I think that's how the song actually went. Nice bipod.
I'm stumbling on my bipod.
One's
Left house now.
All depends on you now.
Nice.
Call out. I just
Nice
couldn't
try.
control the gun.
Confidence grows.
It's hefty.
Use it against
Goof. I should have laid down
Switching sides.
and used my bipod.
Use your bipids.
the store. Take this round.
Another
Right
oh,
up
it's
the
the
middle.
same weapon. It's like another bipod. I hit one going left house.
The other one's hiding by the rock.
He got me in mid run.
Abort mission.
Boo.
Regroup.
It's all right.
Our
Winning
deaths are solid though.
gunfight is just so overrated when you think about it. So we're asking about Apple today at 6:53 a.m. Pacific time. Asking about Apple today because at 10 a.m. Pacific time they're doing an unveiling of the new iPhone. So we are curious if you're getting a new iPhone, if you are wanting something out of an iPhone, if something would make you buy another iPhone, because at this point I'm just not convinced I'm going to get another one because mine's still working and there's not like, I mean, for most of the practical applications that I use my phone for, including the camera, yeah, like specifically the iPhone 11 and probably what this one's going to have, the camera is better. I've seen some video shot from it and I'm jealous, but like the video shot from my phone's still not bad.
Yeah.
And
No,
I think
and
it's the same resolution. I think it's just a different type of like color capture or something because it does look crisper on an iPhone 11.
I miss the days where every other iPhone was like an overhaul, like different form factor. Like all the phones look the same now, and it's so boring.
Yeah.
I want something different, you know. I want like a big change, and that's just who I am. You grow your hair out, I think you should cut it real short. You have short hair, you should grow it. Like I want the big changes. I like that. I think it's fun. So with the phones, I liked that every other year, like it was drastically different, and we just don't get that anymore.
You gained 30 pounds during the pandemic. You want me to shed those 30 pounds, right? That's what you're saying? 129 kilograms. All right. I will tell you the 10 most iconic phones in the next hour. That's our list of the day, because that goes back to one thing that was different before the iPhone, before smartphones really took over, is the phones definitely did have different looks and feels and things of that nature. So they had different feelings too, like, you know, sometimes they would get emotional and sometimes they'd be fine, you know, it just depending. It was all about their feelings. 10 o'clock today, Apple event. Tim Cook's gonna get up on stage and be like, hey, have you ever felt like your iPhone didn't have enough feelings? Today we announce Siri emotions. He will talk to you with feeling and happiness. Hey, Sean, if you'll be my bodyguard, I will be your long lost pal. That's how we open today's birthdays. Paul Simon turns 79 today.
Nice.
I really like that song. Do 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 do. Iconic music video too, which I was not aware of until like much later in my life because I didn't have MTV growing up, and so I wasn't really paying attention to videos. But apparently, that was a big one with Chevy Chase. Sammy Hagar turned 73 today. Apparently, he was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2007 as part of Van Halen. Van Halen's been in the news because of the death of Eddie Van Halen. Marie Osmond turned 61 today. Kate Walsh is 53 today. Sacha Baron Cohen turns 49. Ashanti turns 40 today. Let's see other birthdays of live and alive people. Jerry Rice, the NFL wide receiver, 58 today. Nancy Kerrigan, 51, the Olympic figure skater. I was supposed to see Nancy Kerrigan. No, maybe I did see Nancy Kerrigan skate. I went to one figure skating event that happened to show up in Billings, Montana. And I was so obsessed with Oksana Bayul because I thought she was cute when I was 11. That like I was so excited to see her skate from the Ukraine, and then you know, I was probably blinded and didn't know that Nancy Kerrigan was there. I think she was. I think she was the headliner, to be honest. You ever been to ice skating events?
No, never.
Yeah. It figures. Figure skating. Caleb McLaughlin from TV Stranger Things is 19 today. DJ Vice is 42. R&B singer Lumity is 40 today. Wow. A lot of people I don't know. You were listening to them the other day. Musician Robert Lamb of Chicago is 76 today. 25 or 6 to 4? Which one?
Yeah. 12 in one, half dozen in the other. Does anybody know what time it is?
Yeah, it's 6:50. It's 6:58. Why are you asking these simple questions? So let's see. This day in gaming history, 1992, Nintendo and Sony reached an agreement. They were going to make a standard for CD-ROM players for a new video game system that can play SNES cartridges and CD-ROMs. Nintendo was going to license the game software, and Sony licensed through Nintendo all the other software types. Wonder what happened to that.
I think it fell through.
You'll never know.
Sony should do something with that technology.
They probably should. What was it? 3 years later? Wasn't 95 the PlayStation?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 3 years later, I think, came out. I mentioned the other day that Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is my favorite Mortal Kombat of all time. I was really stoked about this one, though. 1996, they came out with Mortal Kombat Trilogy, and it's just where they put all 3 games to that point on the same disc. But they also added a couple of extra features and things, and I really liked that disc. I still have that disc, in fact. But the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, where you could play with any of the characters at that point, was really awesome. So that's still my favorite one. 03 Kirby's Air Ride came out for GameCube in the US, and in 2004 Halo 2 was illegally released on the internet prior to its official release in a PAL format with French text.
You're my pal.
I was gonna say, is it PAL or is it PAL?
I have always heard it PAL.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2009, Majesco releases A Boy and His Blob for Nintendo Wii. I want to play that because that sounds fun. Brutal
like
Legend came out the same year for PS3 and Xbox 360. Did you say you've played it?
You would like it. I haven't played it, but I've seen it, and it's a cute little like platformer game. Like, it's kind of puzzly.
Gosh, you are #video game expert. I had no reason to believe that anyone would have known about A Boy and His Blob, but you never cease to amaze me. This date, also in 2009, a lot of good games came out. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves came out for PlayStation 3. Did you play any of the Uncharteds?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've played them all.
That's Naughty Dog, right?
Yeah, they're very good games.
And then 3 years ago, The Evil Within 2 comes out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. That was from Bethesda Softworks, excuse me.
Now a Microsoft property.
Oh, that's right. We had that story the other day with Bethesda being purchased by Microsoft, which is there was a big game that's in that, right?
Doom.
You said
Bethesda does Doom.
Yeah, but there's one that was supposed to be an exclusive for PlayStation that will still be an exclusive. It's not Dark Souls, right?
Yeah, I forget.
Okay. That sorry, I put you on the spot, but that's what I had remembered about that story. All right. It is 7 o'clock, 7:01 to be exact, on the West Coast. We appreciate being with us, Gaming Morning Show this morning, as we continue to headline all of the things happening in the gaming world. 10 o'clock this morning, Apple will have an event. So we're talking about the iPhone. Next hour, I'll have your top 10 iconic cell phones of all time.
Deathloop.
That's what it was. All right, I'm going to have another donut.
I'm going to have my first donut.
Oh. See, I'm an hour ahead of you.
We'll see. I don't
Thanks
usually eat breakfast.
Thanks for letting me come over and drink cider or seltzer or cider seltzer, whatever it was, yesterday.
It's a little both. Anytime. I'll
It's
be
good to
here
see you.
today.
You can follow him, sports.gaming on Twitter. He is Sean. Have a great day.
Later.
We'll see him later. He'll be back with us tomorrow. I have you for the final 2 hours of the show. So stick around. Like I said, top 10 iconic cell phones coming up. We will do our gaming morning show, morning gaming news, re-news, coming up next hour. And then also in the final hour, sports. Although there's enough sports, I might talk about some of that coming up next hour as well. We can be found, Watch GMS on Twitter. Our show Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. 7:02 West Coast, 10:02 on the East. It is Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. Stay with us. We'll be back.
is all that I've got. The scars and all these empty walls have gone away. I open my eyes as you will see. Now again, we're moving down this road too long. Whoa. You told me all you needed was my love, but you take too much. I hope you're better now. You told me all you needed was my love, but you take too much. I hope you're better now. The scars upon me. The scars upon me. The scars upon me. Take me from the start. I should run, but I don't. Wait till I know where to go. It's in my heart to follow you. Right now, my feelings are as burn. Way too long, way too long. Whoa, now, way too long, way too Please don't fall. This is all that I've got. The scars and all these empty walls have gone away. I open my eyes as you will see. Not again. Moving down this road too long. Whoa. You told me all you needed was my life, but you take too much. I hope you're better now. You told me all you needed was my life, but you take too much. I hope you're better now. The scars upon me. The scars upon me. The scars upon me.
Morning Gamer, Gaming Morning Show continues Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. I am Ryan. Wherever you may be, thanks for hanging out with us. Coming up this hour, top 10 iconic phones. As today is the Apple event, they're going to announce the iPhone 12 and all of that in which it entails. Meaning, like, they're going to be like, hey, still got a camera and you can still spend money on apps, but you still can't play Fortnite. I guess the epic feud is going to continue for a while with Apple. We want to know, though, is that enough? Just having a new iPhone enough for you to want to pony up? I think that's the other thing, too. Sean was talking in the first hour about how, yeah, I mean, when you have the new every 2 or whatever, new every 18 months deal, but the cost of the phone is still financed, so it does go incrementally up, at least on my plan. He said something about having like a $20 cost, so maybe he's got like the golden ticket plan. But that was the one reason I didn't get the new phone, because I was like, it's no longer $20 a month, it's like $45. Like, they're super expensive now. I mean, I think the last iPhone was priced at like $1,500. So until mine quits working, or until there's something amazeballs that the new one has, I'm not getting it. But we'll see if that comes out today. We told you about some birthdays. If you still have a birthday to celebrate, we would love to wish the happy birthday. We do the birthday roundup at the end of the 6 o'clock hour Pacific time. But Paul Simon having a birthday today. Ashanti has a birthday. Sacha Baron Cohen has a birthday today. So if you have a birthday to celebrate, let us know. We also told you about how to fit 37 pounds of meth in a tire. Make sure you do it in Mississippi. Oh, I didn't bring this up. I meant to, and I wanted to do it before Sean left, damn it. We have more Ewan McGregor news, which is Ewan McGregor, I think is how you actually say his name. He is going to be wearing the Obi-Wan Kenobi robe again. It's according to Elise Schaefer of Variety. He was on Zoom during an appearance on the Graham Norton show through the BBC on Friday and revealed that Disney Plus has a Obi-Wan Kenobi series that is coming out. They're going to start filming March of 2021. And it's not all going to be McGregor, according to him, but he is going to be in it. And let's see. It was first announced back in August of 2019. It was supposed to film, I think it was supposed to film this year. Maybe got pushed back, but it's going to start filming in March of 2021. So if you're excited about Obi-Wan, you can let us know in the chat. I won't watch it, but that's just because I don't watch a ton of episodic TV. Although I did see a tweet yesterday. I was listening to a podcast, and it talked about Vita on Stars. I'm interested in watching that now. But other than that, I haven't really gotten into too many shows. We watched Just Friends the other day, which was that Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart movie from like a decade and a half ago. There's still some great one-liners in that movie. I don't think that movie flies as much as it did 20 years ago at this point, but as far as some of the one-liners, it's a retainer and it's not that bad. I really do like that part. And my wife and I were arguing, was that peak Ryan Reynolds, Just Friends 2005, or was that like just at the start Ryan Reynolds? And I think she's right. I think she said just at the start Ryan Reynolds. And so if that's the case, yeah, I buy it. He was just kind of at the start with Just Friends. And then she didn't remember Amy Smart went on to do the Cranked movies. I don't know what else she was in after that, though. So, anyway, that was a sidebar. But we ended up watching some TV or a movie on Saturday night, I want to say, which was kind of fun. Let's see, Modern Warfare this morning. I got to call some UAVs and do an SMG and kind of... I'm really honestly not going to worry about my loadouts too much because it's just so much work. It's really hard to want to go to 155 every single, and I think this is why Sean's so much better at the completion of stuff than me, because I kind of don't really want to do the challenges right now. I think I really want to play Apex. I just can't play Apex on this show yet. Until I have two other people who play with me every day, and we can have the actual banter that I'd want to have. Otherwise, it's just me running around Apex, being quiet, and it's just not nearly as much fun. So I think the only thing I really can play in the couple hours a week that I have to do solo is, the multiplayer stuff. Oh, yeah, you can follow us on Twitter. HaftyGoof is my handle, at sports.gaming for Sean. But yeah, we're asking about the Apple question. I mean, I haven't bought a new iPhone since iPhone 8. I have an iPhone 8 Plus, and I really like the form factor. I wish my battery would last longer, which I think is kind of the case with most phones after a while. He did see me. And so, yeah, but just I don't know. I don't know how good phone recycling is either. That's my other biggest hesitation on getting a new phone every year now, is I'm worried that phones don't recycle as well as I hope that they do. And so with that as a thing, like, I don't want to just buy a new phone just because I want a new phone. Oh god, this is not gonna work. Look at how slow the scope is.
We've got Charlie.
Is that guy just frozen? Oh, I have to stand there alive.
Gotta reload.
I have claymores. Yeah, so that's the other thing about the iPhone. I've seen, again, I have some friends who have iPhone 11, and the video that comes off that phone is very crisp. I don't know if it has other attributes that make it better than just, you know, being a newer sensor or something, but there's definitely something in it that makes it look better than the phone I have now. So like that's the reason to get it. It's just that I don't want to get rid of a phone just because I want a new camera. That's my biggest problem. Oh, we did end up getting it. Capture that one. Oh, jeez, he's just sitting right there. What are you doing? What are you doing? So, I don't know if you ever got caught up. Like, I have kids, right? My kids are 9 and 5. And so, I got caught in the middle of the baby shark craze. I don't know if you did too, or you even heard about it if you don't got the kids. But apparently there's a story of some jail employees who got in trouble because of baby shark. So we'll have that for you here in a little bit too. Is that a good guy? It's a good guy, Jet. Please cover my right.
Hostiles are taking Charlie. We're holding two. We're holding all points to defend.
Stem.
Hostiles have Charlie.
I thought we had a friendly jet. Maybe I just got shot from behind. Whoops, sorry.
Securing Charlie. Got two objectives. Lock it down.
Enemy in the container.
Friendly UAV overhead.
It's like, I don't think I have any things to dispatch.
Taking control.
Can't make that. Yep, I know it's dead once I can make that jump. Baby shark doo 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 doo.
We're on Charlie. Stand by.
See, this is the downside. I brought it up, didn't I?
You're needed.
Reckon that's payback.
We're holding all points to defend. We've got securing Bravo.
Reloading.
We hold all positions. Hostiles are taking out.
Why were they behind
Hostiles
us?
at Bravo, go. Friendly UAV overhead. We must be.
Yeah, otherwise, you know, I'm open to hearing what you're
Halfway there. Keep fighting.
open to hearing what your day is going to entail. Any big plans for your Tuesday?
Yeah, that got him. Changing mags.
Securing Bravo. Hostiles are taking. We've got two objectives. Lock it down. Got a personal radar
I
drone
didn't
ready
see
for
him at
action.
all.
Securing B. Moving Charlie.
Stand the Claymore.
We're holding all points to
Changing
defend.
mags. Stand the Claymore.
There's also football on tonight, if you can believe that or not.
Friendly UAV overhead.
Lots of
Stand the Claymore.
coronavirus issues with the NFL. I don't know how they're going to get that ever fully resolved.
Got to reload.
Friendly UAV overhead. Friendly sentry gun online.
I hate how I picked the one that wasn't looking at, or that was looking at me. Unfortunate.
Assist your team at Alpha.
Set the claymore.
Losing Alpha. Losing C.
Shot right in the face. Yeah, I think Bill's Titans right tonight.
Reckon that's payback.
That's pretty awesome. I'm excited to see how the Bills finish the year, because right now they're playing some of the best football in all the NFL.
Set the
Assist
claymore.
your team at Bravo. Got a personal radar drone ready for it.
Copy. Jaguar 3-0 en route for personal radar.
Hostiles have Bravo.
Baby shark doo doo. Nice shots.
Taking Bravo.
Set the claymore.
We're taking Charlie. Enemy holds 2 objectives. Take them back. Friendly UAV overhead.
Running contact.
We're taking Bravo.
Gotta reload.
This is Jaguar 3-0. Personal radar is bingo fuel. Recalling to base.
We're crushing them. Stay with it.
Lame.
Losing Charlie. We're taking Bravo. We're holding all points. Defend.
We did it! Victory! Oh yeah, it's time for a top 10 list. I didn't put my T's up. That's okay. All right, Gaming Morning Show continues. I am Ryan, flying solo for the final 2 hours. Thanks for being with us. Sean usually with us 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time, Monday through Friday on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. I invite you to check out our YouTube. Just search Gaming Morning Show on YouTube. And an interview last Thursday with Reese Manick of Side Group Games. They made Throw Me in the River. I'm working on getting some other interviews. We'll have our name of the morning for you coming up in just a little bit. Also some Baby Shark jail news, you know, because those two things go together. Let's give you the top 10 most iconic phones of all time. And we do this because the Apple iPhone 12 is supposed to be announced today. And so I like the fact that with Sean in the last hour, he was talking about how he kind of misses, you know, phones having a different look from one another, you know, year over year, or, you know, from phone to phone. And so we're borrowing this from watchmojo.com, the top 10 iconic cell phones of all time. So we'll give you some of the answers to this. 1996 was the Motorola StarTAC, which by and large was kind of the first flip phone, first most portable phone, right? Because before, you know, car phones existed, and there were some, you know, phones like the Zach Morris phone, right? That was gigantic and blocky. But the StarTAC was like the first one that you could kind of throw in your pocket really easily. According to Watch Mojo, 1996 hit shops, and StarTAC was the smallest and lightest phone on the market. I remember that thing. Yeah, but sold 60 million apparently. Number 9, Samsung Galaxy S3 from 2012. Let's see. The model actually surpassed Apple's 4S smartphone and got the nickname iPhone Killer. Clearly not absolutely true, but it definitely slashed some market share there. S3 was so good, in fact, it was once reported that it even outsold the iPhone 5 during the device's first 2 months of sales. A lot of Android lists have that as best all time. The Nokia 8110, and Nokia is going to probably have, I imagine, a couple of appearances on this list, because Nokia was just such the, you know, benchmark for phones for so long. Now, I also give you this list with the complete acknowledgement. I spent 7 years in the wireless industry selling phones, but that's the 8110. And I don't really remember seeing this phone much, but according to Watch Mojo, it was the phone they used in The Matrix. Yeah. still eclipsed the 8110 at the time of its 1996 release. Wow, that phone was out in that early? That's crazy. Sony Ericsson W800 from 2005. I have to kind of look at these to remember. Oh, yeah, okay, so they came out with a version of this phone that actually had a Walkman. It was when Sony was still trying to kind of revive its Walkman brand. And Sony Ericsson was probably pretty good with phones early 2000s. They had the first camera phone that I ever remember selling. Yeah, Hofbrew is a Pixel / Android stan. So today brings a safety meeting at work and rooting for the Bills. All right. Listen, I'm a big Bills believer, so I'm with you there for sure. I've wanted the Bills to be good again since they made those 4 straight Super Bowls in the early 90s. The W800, that Walkman functionality kind of was the first entrance into like a music player as being your phone. And listen, this was my favorite. These are my favorite stories to tell from the days of selling cell phones. Was the biggest thing we got routinely from people when they would come into the store and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a new phone," and this is a sales thing, right? You qualify so that you can sell. But as a person who likes sports, kind of liked video games at the time, kind of into music, right? I could see all the value of having all those things in one device. And now you see how like into phones we are, and it's kind of crazy to think that people used to be this way. But I had so much pushback all the time from, I just want my phone to be a phone, right? And then you'd be like, oh, well, do you like music? Oh, yeah, I love music. I have an iPod with 400,000 songs. Like, oh, that's cool. Well, the Sony, I don't remember what it was called, Sony Ericsson W800, you can have all your music right in your phone. The problem was, it was so hard to get music into phones. The W800, you had to have software, and then you had to sync it with your computer. Maybe you could put them on a memory stick or something like that. But it was always less, it was always more difficult than when iPhone finally came out in 07, because it was just like your iPod. You plugged it in, and you like hit a button, and all the music synced. Because that was one thing that Apple did really well, was while you still had to tether the device, you still had to plug it into a computer and sync it with an iPod and eventually the iPhone. It was so many less clicks, and you managed everything within their software, and that wasn't always the case. Like with the Sony Ericsson software, I don't remember specifically. I assume that you had to import your music from iTunes and extra steps, right? So they were so behind relative to Apple in the digital music thing. And that's where Hofbrew would be good. He's really into music, and so I'm curious kind of when he made that transition, or when you made that transition with music too, because again, for the longest time it was like, nope, I want my music player to be my music player, and I want my camera to be my camera, and I want my phone to be my phone. And this Sony Ericsson that came out in 05 was kind of a blurring of the lines. And again, I sold a camera phone. It was awful. I mean, you couldn't see what the camera was shooting, but it was on your phone. You had to plug in this like little adapter thing, and I remember selling that thing in like 02. T-Mobile Sidekick. The Sidekick, that was a big deal because it was one of the first ones to have the QWERTY keyboard. Yeah, and it was really well marketed. The Sidekick marketing was amazing. Number 5, Motorola Dynatac from 1984. The very first truly mobile phone. Let's see. I'm going to read this. This is from WatchMojo.com. Of course, Dynatac's capabilities pale in comparison to modern smartphones, but it began a phenomenon that now dominates the modern world. $4,000 back in 1984. Became synonymous with yuppie culture in the 1980s. It's heavily used in media portraying that era, the inaugural brick phone. I wonder if that's the Zach Morris phone. I never even thought to look. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I mean, by and large, that looks like that's the Zach Morris phone. Yeah, that was the Dynatac right there. My camera's obviously not designed to do close-ups, but yeah. Man. $4,000. I think I remember, too, reading that, like, back in the day with cell phones, you would get a lease for the phone. Like, you wouldn't even own the phone. You would just lease it. But I don't remember if that's true. I mean, that's basically what you were doing back in the day with contracts anyway. Let's see, number 4 on this list is top 10 iconic phones. Nokia 3310. That came up in the year 2000. in the year 2000. Yeah, I remember a lot of people had this phone too. That's actually really cool, like lime green version of it. But yeah, that was form of phone was pretty big. I also remember like there was like a Nokia 5100 and that had Snake on it and had the little antenna. But yeah, I remember those. Oh, so Hofbrew was early adopter with media-enabled phones. But did you use them? Like, did you use the media capabilities? Like, did you not have an iPod or anything else like that? Yeah, I'm curious if that was the case. BlackBerry Curve 8900, that was probably the most... That was like the peak BlackBerry. Because we sold a good amount of BlackBerries back when I used to work in the cell phone world. But the BlackBerry Curve was like still neck and neck with the iPhone that came out early on. Motorola Razr V3, everyone had to have a Razr. I remember that distinctly. The marketing was really good with Motorola behind the Razr. I mean, it could easily be number one if the iPhone hadn't really changed the game. And then number one on this list is iPhone 3G. And this list, I think, is pretty recent. I don't think I'm looking at something that's super old, because sometimes I'll get something that's like a 2008 list. It's not showing me off the top of my head here. But, yeah, I mean, the 3G was a big deal because it switched from having... The phone had such slow internet on cell phone towers. When we first had the iPhone back in 07, it was only on what they called Edge. And so you could only use, like, the equivalent of modem dial-up speed, right? And then the 3G actually used faster internet speeds. And when that came out, that really, really did switch things. Oh, Hofbrew absolutely used the internet. Big wink. But yeah, I remember having that fight with so many people. It's like, oh, yeah, I love sports. All right, well, how do you check sports scores? Oh, I just get on my computer and look them up. Oh, that's cool. What if you could just check them on your phone? I'll never look at sports scores on my phone. I want my phone to be a phone. I mean, that was probably the number one line we had. Oh, it was so great. It's so great. There was a really cool thing. The one thing that kind of gets lost in the bridge between phones having... video you could watch clips of, and then having live video on your phone. In between there was a company that tried to do, it was a separate set of towers, so you had to have the infrastructure, you had to be within range, so they weren't on the same towers as what your phone worked off of, but they had live TV that was streaming through that. Yeah, it was really cool. You just kind of scroll through the guide. And it was a full-blown touchscreen phone, the one I remember. I think it was an LG. And let's say I wanted to watch... I watched an NBA game. Might have been NBA Finals or something. Let's say I wanted to watch Cavs Spurs, right? I clicked on this button, and as long as I had good service, I could watch live TV. I remember watching a World Cup that way for a good amount of time. iPod not until... Oh, so you were a late adopter on iPod. Okay, that makes sense then. Miscellaneous MP3 players prior. Yeah, for those who had iPods super early on, which I did not, then like the cell phone thing was a little bit harder. But by and large, I mean that I'm just using the sample size of the people that I used to help in the cell phone store. So I did 7:34 West Coast time, 10:34 on the East. Gaming Morning Show continues this morning, asking about that Apple topic. Apple expected to reveal a new iPhone today at 10 a.m. Are you excited about it? Are you going to get it? Let us know in the chat. Coming up later, we will have sports. Tonight, Tuesday night football, Bills and Titans. I told you about Baby Shark. This happened in Oklahoma. There is some discipline being handed out to 2 former jail employees and their supervisor. They face misdemeanor cruelty charges because they apparently forced inmates to stand handcuffed for hours and listen to Baby Shark on repeat. It's just awful. At least 4 of the inmates were secured to a wall, hands cuffed behind them, and the song played on a loop at loud volume for hours. Former Oklahoma County Jail employees Gregory Cornell Butler and Christian Charles Miles, both 21, and their supervisor Christopher Raymond Hendershot, 50 years old. That's according to the Oklahoman newspaper. That's just awful. I could not imagine how you block something like that out, especially with it being played at such high volumes. I mean, that has to be like an actual tactic for making people, like an actual torture tactic, right? Loud noises. There's someone up on that hill. Ugh. I was itching my nose. I don't know if I ever did own an iPod. And that goes back to wasn't too much into music.
Enemy at the container.
Like podcasting in whatever initial form, if I had looked into it. And I could have had a bunch of podcast episodes on a device like you would have done iTunes. Might have been into something like that. But, I was so fixated on trying to get live radio on my phone for the longest time. And that's like where Mark Cuban made his money. He started broadcast.com, which was based on this idea of being able to listen to college sports wherever you were. They were big. Were they Indiana fans? Why didn't you shoot that person? He was right in front of you. I want to say he was Indiana Hoosiers basketball fan. And I think went to school there. I don't know that for fact. And then was living in Texas. And so him and his friends figured out how to, stream games through the internet. I remember broadcast.com because, speaking of the cell phone store, one thing that was not fun about working in retail was you had to work Saturdays, right? And Saturdays were a big sports day. It was college football. And so I'd listen to college football games using broadcast.com.
Enemy personal radar overhead. Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
Planting Claymore. One
Have
down.
a personal radar drop. Kill confirmed. Enemy cruise missile.
Planting Claymore. Down. Send recon.
Copy. Backup VO on the roof. Personal radar.
That one.
Counter UAV ready to deploy.
Ready for counter UAV. Send it in.
Falcon VO. Scrambler cover jacket. Enemy at the center. Enemy at the container.
Oh, I just shot over his head. Sorry, I got really sucked in there for a second. So yeah, broadcast.com was a big deal. And so you could do that on 3G phones. You didn't have to have, the faster capabilities you have now with 4G and such. So I was pretty already satisfied with, what I had. Being a sports fan, that's... Oh, dang it. Sorry, dude.
This is Bilgan 2-0, good copy. Cluster strike away.
So the moment, you could get live sports on your phone, I was pretty on board.
You take that.
Kill confirmed.
Ah, bummer. Baby shark doo doo. It's a hard shot because I couldn't shoot through my teammate. He was behind me. Stick around. We got morning gaming news, re-news coming up.
Kill confirmed. Kill confirmed.
I have to reload. Planting Claymore.
Kill confirmed. We have a
Planting
personal
Claymore.
radar scan.
That was unfortunate.
Counter UAV ready to deploy.
I don't know why I'm running around with counter UAV.
Ready for counter UAV. Stand it in.
I don't really know where I'm supposed to put that, to be honest. I don't know if I'm supposed to put that where I have a whole bunch of teammates, or if I'm supposed to put it where they would be.
Kill confirmed.
Yeah, I wonder where, like, when the 5G is fully gonna hit. Like, when it's just gonna be across the board the norm.
Allied UAV overhead.
Because 4G right now is pretty widespread, right? Like, you know, you can use 4G speeds in almost every part of the country. And to me, that felt kind of seamless. Like the transition from going from 3G to 4G didn't feel like it took a whole lot of infrastructure, which it probably did, but it felt like it didn't take that long to get like the same blanketed, you know, US map of 4G that it took to get the blanketed map of 3G, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So yeah, I'm curious how long it's going to take. Big stretch, 7:44 in the morning Pacific time, 10:44 on the East. I am Ryan. Gaming Morning Show continues. Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. Coming up, like I said, gaming news, re-news, and then let's see, next hour, sports. If we got people who want to play Google Feud, I'd be interested. Trivia as well coming up next hour, as we are with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Trying to think, went to Pumpkin Patch yesterday, which, you know, the Pumpkin Patch is not my jam, for sure. I found there's two things, for as socially extroverted as I am. I like being around a bunch of people. I like being out of my house. I like being out talking to people. Like, that is definitely bona fide my jam. Don't like the Pumpkin Patch. And I gotta craft like a phrase for what I'm thinking, because I am definitely very good at trying to avoid doing things that I don't enjoy. like I to the point where I clearly get pegged as being like impolite, because I just don't want to have to say yes to things I don't want to do. And that's my biggest reason that I'm not a very good homeowner, because when you sign on to buy a house, then you feel obligated to want to do things like remodels, or when you have to do things because, you know, something actually does break, right? And I'm not in either of those scenarios, but nonetheless, when I'm interested in something, I'll try to do it as full bore as I possibly can. And so it's like almost like a subjective laziness, right? Like, I don't want to do the things that I don't want to do, but I feel like that's also like a good thing, like self-awareness. Anyway, you can look at me in the chat and be like, Ryan, you are just justifying laziness. And I'd be like, okay, that's absolutely fine. Anyway, but I don't like the Pumpkin Patch, and I think part of it is because I can go to the grocery store and get a pumpkin for the same price, if not cheaper, and not have to wheel it across the field. Yeah, it doesn't, it's not fun sounding to me. So there's that. Okay.
Have to reload.
Second part of that story. The pumpkin patch is better because you're there for a little bit less time. You know, you don't have to be there for an hour and a half plus. Man, someone cover my back, bro. Okay, so there's that part, right? It's the length of time that you have to be there, even though the pumpkin patch is better. The second one I don't like is the fair. I do not like going to the fair. And part of it is because it lasts too long, it's too freaking hot, and it costs too much money for value exchanged. Alright, there you go. There's my two things that I should like because they are based around hanging out with lots of people, and they're out of the house. But those two things I just do not like. I do not like them, Sam I am. But we went to the pumpkin patch yesterday. Got donuts. Best part of the pumpkin patch. I think more pumpkin patches should have pumpkin beer. I am pretty sure there's got to be a ton of pumpkins that are thrown away each year, right? Especially because we're doing the jack-o'-lantern thing, which, honestly, if jack-o'-lanterns, like, help supplement pumpkin growing to the point where it helps lessen the amount of waste that would otherwise come from pumpkin farming. Like, like, what else do you use pumpkin for? Like, pumpkin puree, but how many pumpkins go into pumpkin puree? I gotta do some research on this, because I don't... Yeah, I knew I was gonna kill you. I'm sorry, dude.
Planting Claymore. Nothing for you.
Yeah, I'll have to find the answer to that. Dang it.
The
That's
enemy took the
unfortunate.
hard point.
You know I was back there. I am definitely close.
Location secure. Enemy
Planting
UAV
Claymore.
overhead.
Planting Claymore.
How did I not shoot him? Sorry, make sure I don't miss anything in the chat. Not a big fan of the pumpkin patch. I'm such not a big fan of the pumpkin patch. I don't even really remember why I brought up that story other than to tell you that I went to the pumpkin patch and, you know, it wasn't fun. I mean, it was fun. It's not the best of times.
Taking the hard point. Enemy VTOL jet in the AO.
But yeah, I don't like to, like, you pick berries, I'll never understand either. There's plenty of ways to go out and about and, you know, get exercise that I don't need to pick berries. I'd rather go to the beach. And another part of the problem too is, like, I like going out and relaxing. And the pumpkin patch is just not really a relaxing environment. I don't know. I have my reasons. But, you know, the kids love it, and the other three in our little circle love it. So, you know, if they're into it, you know, I'm willing to ride shotgun. Because that falls into one of the other areas that I like, which is, you know, making other people happy. Really? I'm not going to see anybody. What are the odds? What are the odds? What do I got left? Oh yeah, we're gonna do sports or gaming morning show, morning gaming news, re-news. Can't walk through flames. Man, I'm having fun. I don't really like sniping, but I also don't really like Rust. So anything that helps us with that. I mean, I'd rather, you know, we go get the hard point. I think I just shoot him. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else?
Personal radar drone standing by.
Yeah, so that's my answer to the iPhone thing, though, is I probably won't get a new one just because it's not needed. There's nothing wrong with my current one other than the battery life. And that's usually, like, the #1 motivating factor other than features that makes one want to get a new phone, right? Is, you know, it can diagnose myself for, you know, diseases, right? Like, a new feature. Okay, why are we all just huddled back here? Go get the hard point, dude.
Falcon 3-0. Personal radar completed.
I'm not having fun.
Go, get to the next one.
I got one.
Couldn't escape the grenade.
Friendly UAV online.
Throwing grenade.
This is exhausting.
Enemies taking over. 30 seconds. Time's up. Move, move.
Hard points have interesting sniping angles.
Stand by to move. The enemy took the hard point. Go, get to the next one.
Yeah, getting these guys.
Friendly UAV online.
Oh, bummer. Yeah, I deserve that.
Hard point secure. The enemy took the hard point. We've taken the hard point. Friendly UAV online.
Alright, game over, man. Game over. Game Morning Show continues 7:55 on this Tuesday morning. It's October 13th, 2020. Thanks for being with us wherever you may be. I am Ryan. A couple of gaming morning show, morning gaming news redo headlines for you. Rockstar purchased Ruffian Games. I love Sean in the first hour because I didn't know what he was talking about. He's telling me about Ruffian. And I'm like, he's like, you're gonna make the Hamilton reference, aren't you? I'm like, I don't know what the Hamilton reference is. But there's a line in Tangled, which I do remember, where it's like, Ruffians. Anyway, they bought Ruffian Games, so Rockstar has them now. More PlayStation backwards compatibility news, shaking my head, which I should just share these links. So we're copy and paste. Let's see. Yeah. More PlayStation backwards compatibility. Sean shared with us in the first hour. Most of the backwards compatibility news has to do with the VR camera and you are going to be able to use your old VR camera at a lower resolution than if you buy the new one. That sounds like the adapters included, which kudos to them. I mean, so many adapters having to be purchased now, because I have a MacBook Pro that's only USB-C, and I have an iPhone that only has lightning cables, and so there's so many adapters. Ugh, so many. And then there was one more piece of news. PS5. Oh yeah. We did retweet this. We retweet all of the news from the sources out on our Twitter at WatchGMS. But there's a teaser video with the Burger King, literally from the Burger King, where he's opening up a bag from Burger King, and there's possibly PlayStation's interface inside the bag. I guess cross promotion. I think that would be really cool if it was easier to get a pre-order. I feel like they had talked about more pre-orders becoming available around September 22nd, and we haven't really seen it, right? I'm not making that up. Because the pre-date order originally was, or the announcement was like September 15th, I think. And then a week later, they were supposed to have some more. I think we've only seen, what was it, nowinstock.net was the website that Sean referred me to kind of track stock alerts. And I think I've only seen Target light up a couple of times on there, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, that's your gaming morning show, morning gaming news, re-news. Out today, some of our honorable mentions included Remothered, Broken Porcelain, out today for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Werewolf, The Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest, out for PC. And a couple others. Torchlight 3 for PS4, Xbox One, PC. Prenny 1 and 2, or 1-2, Exploded and Reloaded for Switch. But today's name of the morning goes to Dung Beetle Strike, out today for PC. We did send out a tweet with a link to that game on Steam. You can find us at WatchGMS. 7:58 a.m. West Coast time. It is 10:58 on the East. I am Ryan. Coming up next hour, sports. Some other things coming up for you this morning as well. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. Gaming Morning Show Coffee Break. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you being with us on Tuesday.
want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me the green light. If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me a sign, just give me the green light.
If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me a sign. If you want me to get close to you, just tell me what to do, tell me what to do. If you want me to take over, just give me the green light, just give me the green light.
Morning Gamer Gaming Morning Show continues. It is Tuesday, October 30th, 13th, not 30th. 30th would be the day before Halloween. It is October 13th, 2020. I am Ryan, Gaming Morning Show. You can watch us Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and at gamingmorningshow.tv. I have some Obi-Wan news coming up. We will talk about the world of sports. There's Tuesday night football tonight, believe it or not, with the Bills and the Titans. Unless there's another COVID-19 case that comes up sometime between now and then, which, clearly would be not good. Titans had like 24 cases or something like that. It's been kind of nuts. I'm going to switch over and play NHL 20. That was a popular choice the other day from our friend Hofbrew. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. What else do we got? Apple going to release a new iPhone, expected to at least sometime this afternoon, 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock rather, Eastern time, 10 o'clock Pacific, so you can let us know what you think would be the cool thing to see, the new iPhone to have. There you go. Otherwise, it's a pretty chill morning, not gonna lie. Went to the pumpkin patch yesterday, that was fun. What else? Donuts, pumpkin donuts are good. Apple cider donuts are good. The coffee's good this morning. Went for a big walk. I hadn't been walking much. I've been out and about exercising, if you will, for a while. And kind of felt good to get out and walk yesterday. All right, we're going to play some NHL 20. I actually haven't played, I think, the full version of this game yet. I've been only playing the 3-on-3 version. So, there you go. There's David Riddick. He's back next year. Flames got rid of Cam Talbot.
The Flames start with possession as we are now underway. Puck scooped up by Green.
So, yeah. This is kind of our plan for the morning. Like I said, I got some Obi-Wan Kenobi news, so...
Pretty unknown goaltender when the Flames signed him as an unrestricted free agent. David Riddick has really stepped to the plate for them.
Breaks up the pass in the defensive zone.
Gotta remember my stick. Nice.
Barzal's got it to the side. Gets that puck back on a stick. Stopped by the goaltender.
Oh, why'd you...
To make an excellent save. There's another save.
Alright, we're covering that up.
He's walked right in. A couple of stops in a row.
Yeah, I'm excited for the PlayStation 5. I just hope it shows up sooner than later. It kind of makes me sad to see all the fake fans in the stands. No, I didn't want to do that. I gotta hold my button a little bit longer.
Away from harm's way. That's a good save. Calgary's gained possession along the boards.
That's gonna be icing.
To the races for the loose puck. And they'll keep on playing as icing is waved off. And that skips away on a nice defensive deflection. Brassard's got it across the line. Right in front with the shot. Denies him in front. Backhander in front. Being stopped by the keeper.
Yeah, he's pretty good position there, James. He makes
Yeah, like a camera's cool. I don't know. Like I hesitated to switch to the iPhone 8 Plus because I was worried about the bigger size. And
Trying to come up with a huge defensive play to get this puck out of his own end. New York's got the puck along the wall. Moves it to Letty. Denies him on the play. New York's got possession here in the offensive zone. And another stop from the top of the offensive zone here. Takes it in front.
man, these guys are just dominating us.
And it's kicked away. And a heads-up kick pass over to his teammate. Lucic is moving the puck through his own zone. Trying to clear the zone.
Oh, how'd that miss him?
Able to move the puck across the blue line and out of harm's way. Through the neutral zone, moving the puck along the side. Sends it in on the attack. Moves the puck up to Lucic.
Come on, Lucic.
Lucic is going to play it to the corner. Now he takes it over the line.
I think it's triangle. What's my poke check button? Nice steal. Go Monahan.
Over the line they come. Here's the pass.
That's horrible.
Lindholm's got the puck. Picks up the puck in his own end. Through center along the wing. New York's got him along the wall. Unleashes a cannon. Blocked in front. Taken by Brody. Nice pass. Loves the puck into the corner of the offensive zone. And now it's over to Brody. And makes the save.
All right, what am I talking about? Yeah, I'd like a new camera would be cool, but I just can't. I can't justify the change out. I'd love to hear from you. Do you know how well phones are recycled? Like, does a lot of the stuff actually get reused, or?
Dropped and we are back underway. Picked up along the boards by Green. Kulak's got the puck in his own zone.
It's kind of easier, it appears, to like maintain the same player. Uh-oh.
And now he moves it to Kulak. Calgary's grabbed a hold of the puck.
No, that's icing.
Look at the wheels as icing is waved off.
He anticipated that loose puck. He got to the hash marks first, wins the race, and negates the icing.
Moves it quickly over to Green. Rips it, and that carries off a stick. Kachuk's gaining momentum.
What the heck was that?
The Flames gain possession along the wall. And now it's grabbed by Jankowski.
No.
Along the wing up the neutral
Clearly,
zone.
I'm struggling with.
He's on a breakaway and can't convert.
James, he's so close to making a change in this game, but he doesn't get the shot off.
Here's a chance. Comes up with a stop. Quick feed to Mangiapane.
That should be icing.
Icing is called, stopping.
Oh, can't speak to NHL, but FIFA 20 title was so much of the same IGN copy and paste of the review from last. Yeah, I and that's why this kind of reminds me a little bit of the iPhone thing I just said a second ago. Nintendo is
Congestion blocks the shot.
how much are things getting changed, year over year to justify the purchase, and with digital downloads and stuff now, it's a little bit easier because
Both teams still filling each other out.
you're not wasting the physical copy. You're not producing physical waste there. It's definitely a money grab thing. Like, I even heard the criticism with Madden, which I have not played Madden religiously for, a decade now. I had bought Madden 20 when it was on sale for like $10, and so I bought that and played it for a couple of days. And so like, I think those are two slightly different topics. Buying a new phone and having the phone kind of get stripped down.
Moments away from the start of period number 2.
Can they reuse some of the parts? Does it go to making something else? Like, that's my bigger concern with the phone argument. Is like, I'm concerned I shouldn't buy a new phone. Oh no, that was a bad turnover. Oof. Yeah, cover that up. Because I'm just wasting, physical stuff. So I'm trying to hold on to it a little bit longer. I think, actually, I think about Sean's point earlier in the show. He was talking about they have the ability to trade in their phone because of the way that they signed up for their plan. So they get the best pricing on the next one, and it's kind of already what they're paying anyway for their current
And now he angles it across to Green.
new phones. And so maybe the value actually is to get, if you're willing to pay the price, to get the newest phone. And then, I'm actually going to try to score this. Oh, he got poked.
Picked up along the wall by intercepts the pass. This could be something. The pass. Slides it across to Lee. He's got a little jump.
That's not the what. That's
He's
not,
in. All alone. Stones him on the breakaway.
all right, I got to pause so I can finish my thought. So, getting a new phone so that you can sell the old one back, and then that makes it more affordable for somebody who wants to upgrade but maybe is not willing to spend $1,500 for the newest iPhone, right? Maybe that's the value in it, and that's where it doesn't get wasted. Whereas like me holding on to my iPhone 8 Plus until I can't trade it in, and then at that point does it just click? So like right here in my studio, I have an iPhone 6 here that we play our stream beats off of. So that's just using Wi-Fi. Oh yeah, no worries, Nintendo. It's a good point still, and I'm going to talk about the NHL thing anyway. But yeah, that's what we play stream beats on, and then I use this old iPhone here. Yeah, I'm pointing to things that you can't see, which is kind of ridiculous. But I use that one to monitor YouTube just to make sure that we actually are still streaming and that we're not skipping frames. In my house, we have good enough internet at this point. Sean helped me wire it into the studio that like dropping frames doesn't really happen that much because the internet connection's solid, but we can skip frames because I'm still using a computer that's like 10 years old, and my video card is not really cut out for modern day streaming, especially the way we want to do it. Like this transition here is pretty taxing on the CPU, and so when I hit that, it probably stutters quite a bit going through to the actual end user, the viewer. So that's kind of frustrating, and so we're working on trying to make the right investment in switching that out, because I would like to have a new GPU that can do maybe some hardware encoding. But that said, we're trying to make the best of our situation, and we're doing pretty good in that regard. Yeah, that makes me wonder though, like, I should try to find the best answer, because I also have an electric car, and the criticism of the electric car, and I don't know if this is legitimate criticism or if it's coming straight from the oil lobby. I really don't know. Is it costs so much more in natural resources or so much more impact on the environment to manufacture batteries, even though they last longer, and then what happens when they need to be taken apart. So there's always kind of like a this or that environmental argument. But I hadn't really thought about the idea of trading in my phone early could be better, because then it gets repurposed back out into the world. And maybe that's a better choice than holding on to this phone. And this phone, we got one more phone I was using for my webcam before I finally got my Logitech. That's an interesting thing. I'm the wrong person to ask. I hold on to phones forever and rarely upgrade. Yeah, and I used to be every year I would. And then I was like, man, I just don't want to get rid of a phone that by and large is doing what I need it to do. And I did get to the point where I had a phone that I think I had before this iPhone. So I had iPhone 6, I want to say. So I was maybe doing every other generation. I had plug it in, and I couldn't get it to charge, and they cleaned out the bottom of it for me, and I still couldn't get it to charge correctly. And so finally I was just like, I got to give up. And then I've had batteries too, right? After a while, it's like, oh, batteries just, it's not holding the charge, and I kind of need my phone. So, all right, let's see if we can score. I usually play the 3-on-3, and I don't know, like Hofbrew would know, and you can give me your opinion, Nintendo, like, if you're going to watch hockey on a stream, which is not going to happen very often, since Nintendo, I think, I connected with Nintendo this weekend watching the Latinx in gaming streams, which were super cool, community building, Nintendo Nerds YouTube, I think, primarily, right, Nintendo, that you have. But it was a community building stream, was kind of, functioning around, like, how to kind of build Discords out, which I have not done. So yeah, you can let me know if this is actually interesting to watch, because Hofbrew actually asked me earlier to play hockey, and there's usually at least 2 shows a week that I don't have Sean because he's on his way to work. And so for that show, I wanted to pass that, not shoot it. I'll play something like this unless I'm trying to do my challenges in Call of Duty. Nice goal. Yeah, that was a super awesome event. Oh yeah, Nintendo offered to help me with Discord, which is awesome. So that was pretty neat. But I'll play NHL. I don't really want to do the Call of Duty challenges. I don't really want to level up the battle pass this go around, which I think kind of shows where my completionist brain is not, right? But what we could do here is we could play Google Feud. You can help me out with that. We should do that here right now, in fact. I'll put it up on the screen. We'll do it after a couple more plays. Never really had. The one thing I do like, and I never played hockey, the one thing I kind of do like about what I think this game is showing is the stick handling. Like, it feels like I actually legitimately have to have a handle on the puck before I can pass it. Whereas I remember, you know, it used to feel like you just have to tap it toward the person you wanted to pass it to. Oh, nice nice backhand attempt. Yeah, so Google Feud will play here in a second, and you can help me with actual Google autocompletes, especially because I think I just tripped him up. A slash?
Anderson's getting called for 2 minutes here by the officials. That's a complete overreaction, and he gets burned as he gets called for
Yeah,
slashing.
that's what I thought. All right, well, let's pause there, and we'll go into Google Feud. Yeah, that'll be fun. Stream Beats by Harris Heller, by the way. And that is the audio that we use on the show. All right, it is now 8:26 Pacific time, 11:26 on the East Coast. Gaming Morning Show continues. It is Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. Let's fire up the Google Feud machine. And it looks like you're on Twitch, too, so this will help me get a feel for, is the delay this much worse on Twitch through Restream versus an issue that might be just on Hofbrew's side? Because Hofbrew is fairly delayed on the Twitch side, and more delayed than I would think, based on how I use Twitch on my phone to kind of monitor the stream as well. I use YouTube over here, and then I use Twitch on this side to make sure that I can watch both channels. I want to make sure that whoever's watching, wherever they're watching, is getting the best possible experience. All right, Google Feud, here's how it works. I'm going to ask you to pick a category, and then we're going to finish actual autocompletes from Google. I can't control all the topics. We can breeze through those that you have no interest. If you want to just be like, hey, I don't have a clue. Well, that's absolutely fine. But here's what it looks like. We have culture, people, and questions. We don't do the names because names are sometimes difficult. So I'll ask you right now, do you want to do culture, people, or question? And I try to put them into the chat, too, so that if anyone can't watch but can monitor the chat, they can play, too. We don't do names because what I found with names is it's just really hard to come up. Like, it'll be Sean, S-E-A-N. And it's really hard to come up with 10 really fast names in the range of time that we have. And so we've kind of avoided the names category when we played in the past. But if you're like, I am really good at names, then I will let you make that choice. Culture. The only fun thing that's when people pick people is I can say people. I don't know why that makes me happy, but it does. All right. So how to grow what? So we're playing Google Feud. How to grow blank. I have some ideas. We're in the middle of the pandemic, right? So people are probably trying to figure out how to grow some of their own food. So I have some ideas there. Marijuana is more legal than it used to be, so maybe people are searching that up. So I'll wait for some answers to roll in, and we will make some guesses. We got sports and trivia coming up later in the hour, too. What we'll eventually do, since Nintendo, I think this is your first time tuning in, I'll tell you, anyone else watching for the first time, we'll have a trivia question each day. And the nice thing about the trivia question is it gives you a chance to get qualified for a fabulous prize. So we do want to do giveaways, sometimes something like coffee. We're looking to try to bring in coffee from all over the country. So wherever you are, Nintendo 2, let us know the best coffee spot that at least you know about if you're not a coffee drinker. But if you are, would love your personal recommendation as well. All right, I'm going to go with I'm going to go with vegetables as my first answer. Whoops. Oh no! I lost the thing. Oh, now it says Nickelback is blank. Boo. Well, that's unfortunate. Don't misclick. Nickelback is lame. Okay, I took a crack at one. Nickelback is a band. We counted one time with Nickelback's first song. I think it was This Is How You Remind Me. And their first hit, This Is How You Remind Me, was very much repetitive. I think it said This Is How You Remind Me 7 or 8 times per verse. It was like 37 times full for the song. It was like, this is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you... It was the same thing over and over. All right, I like that. Nickelback is old. And we got 2 strikes. We get 4 strikes. Let's go with Nickelback is bad. Number 4 answer. That's still a good guess. Alright, so bad was 4. This is the other thing that's rough about this Nintendo 2 is you get a lot of answers. Like, I could write, is bad as F or something like that, right? And it would, if that was an answer, like, it won't give us bad just because it's in both. Yeah, I tried lame and we got an X on that one. Nickelback is awesome. Maybe there's an inverse, right? Someone thinks they're great. Nope. I'll try to put the answers in the chat. Oh, Sean gave me. That was Sean's answer, was lame. Yeah, we tried that one, Sean. How about Nickelback is... Nickelback is fine. It's not great. Oh, that's too bad. Nickelback is That Your Hand. What? So there's the complete answers in the chat with their points values. I'm going to give you the next category. Google Feud. It's funny because for some reason feud is one of those words that I always want to spell F-U-E-D. Sorry, Ed. I don't know why that's the case. All right, the Great Blank. I already have one idea. I don't want to spoil it. Stick around. Sports coming up and trivia as well. We also usually at 8:20 we'll try to have an interview. That's where we had our first interview on the show last Thursday. If you missed it, it is on our YouTube page. Reese Manick from Throw Me in the River. All right, the Great Blank. I'm going to go with... Oh, wait, I got it. Great Bambino. Do you remember the movie The Sandlot? Baby Ruth, right? He's like, who's Baby Ruth? Who's the Great Bambino? That's a good movie. I'm gonna go Great Gatsby. I'm gonna pretend I know how to spell Gatsby, right? How do you spell Great Gatsby?
Just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, I found this.
Yeah, okay. It is with a B. I thought it was P. The Great Gatsby. Yeah, see, Nintendo, I like where you're at. So yeah, there must be a pretty significant delay on the Twitch side. At least you both know how to spell it. There we go. 2 answers. We got hit with the movie and just Gatsby. So proud of you two. I even tried to spell it again with P's just now. All right, so we got 4 and 7 on that one. The Great Blank. The Great something race. Wasn't there like a gigantic balloon race or something? The Great and Powerful Oz. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Great British Bake Off. The number one answer coming in from Sean Lee. Nice work. All right, we got 1, 4, and 6. Oh, I put 7. We got 6, not 7. The Great British Baking Show, if you want to go by the actual title. The Great Recession. I like putting into the chat because then it makes me feel like we're actually playing Family Feud, and Nintendo and Sean right now are like, right, yeah, recession, good answer. It struck. All right, so we got, oh, whoops, what'd I hit? Nope, I didn't want that. I must have hit spacebar and made my computer think that we were switching. All right, let's go back here. The Great Houdini. And how do you spell Houdini?
Houdini. Houdin.
Yeah, it wasn't a spelling thing for sure. I'm just trying to watch on my own Twitch and see. Yeah, so like I just flipped over on Twitch to that bad screen cut. So yeah, I just think this is the one thing I don't like about trying to play Google Feud through Twitch is I just think we're going to be too delayed to make it work. All right. I'm just going to try to round it off with one more guess. The Great Depression. There we go. Depression number 3. The Great... Like, I want to keep saying, like, Amazing Race, but that's just the name of the show is Amazing Race. It's not The Great Amazing Race. And then I think of Great Equalizer, because that's, I think, a common phrase. Well, the Great Equalizer in all of this. I'm just going to put it. Ooh, Great Divide was a good guess. All right, we have our 4 strikes. I think I got to quit using the shift button. All right. Here were the answers. The Great Compromise, Great Lakes, Great Outdoors, Great Courses, Gatsby Movie, Great Escape. That's what I was thinking. I think that was a movie, right? Anyway. So there you go. That's how we play Google Feud, usually in the 8 o'clock hour. We got about 3 more minutes or so of playing this game against the Islanders, and then they just scored, in fact. So it's kind of sad. So, and then we'll have sports.
Nelson's won the draw here in the offensive zone. And that shot goes nowhere as the lane was filled. Brody stick handling in his own zone. Here's a short pass to Ryan. Reads the pass perfectly and kicks it off.
The Islanders have done a good job with their sticks.
Why are you
intercepting passes, yet they haven't been able to stretch this game out.
Taken along the wall by Ryan. New York's looking to break out of their own end.
Is there a slash?
Penalty coming up as the whistle stops the play.
Is that Jonathan Taves?
To the box, hooking the call.
So quickly into position.
I didn't know. I thought he had retired.
He takes the hooking penalty.
No, that's not. Okay. There we go.
They'll play some 4-on-4.
Ooh, 4-on-4 hockey right here.
Play has evolved. It used to be race up
Yeah, I can't wait to talk Discord Nintendo because I don't know. I think the biggest roadblock I have for Discord is how to try to make it something that everybody will enjoy. Oh, this might be a breakaway goal. Oh, man.
Puck lands right back onto the blade. Huge steal in his own end.
Nice way to save it in.
He's got the puck now. Handles it along the blue line. And that's blocked. Calgary's got the puck along the wall. He's got the puck with all sorts of traffic around
That's
him.
good lob.
The Flames may not get many better chances than that
Where
tonight as they
if
fail to capitalize
I'm not
on the power
able
play.
to mod it correctly,
They don't cash in, and now we're back to 5-on-5.
And not much on that one.
yeah, if I'm not able to mod it correctly, is it still a good experience for everyone in the Discord? And by modded, I just mean, am I able to actually
Here in the late stages of
pay
this
attention
play,
well enough
New York's up
to make it worthwhile joining the Discord. I mean, there's got to be activity in the Discord, right? And that's the one thing that I'm not entirely sure, I'll be able to deliver.
Perfectly, here's a chance. Comes up with the block. Absolutely fearless. All alone. And that banks off a stick. Great stop by the goaltender.
Positioning and quickness. That's the day right there.
To his teammate. Makes score.
Yeah, light the lamp, Calgary. Yahoo!
Followed through to the net. He picks up this rebound, makes no mistake. Once the goalie leaves the puck in front of the net, the goalie's at your mercy, and he does not miss.
Oh yeah, to your point though, Nintendo, earlier, like, the recycling of the sports games. It's kind of the same thing with Call of Duty, yet, like, Sean and I are still going to buy the newest Call of Duty, but it's not because of the multiplayer or because of any of, like, the core functionality of the game. We're going to buy it because we miss zombies. And I think maybe that's part of the ticket for the Call of Duty games is it's not the core gameplay, not like the multiplayer stuff, but it's what happens, like the special game modes and those kind of things. And I wonder how Warzone will disrupt that too, because Warzone now going to be universal across the Call of Duty platforms. So anyway, just some thoughts. Is it the new COD, like 250 gigs? It absolutely could be, for all I know. We played the beta. I didn't even see what the size of the beta was. That's why you got to get that expanded SSD, right? Yikes. There's always that fear, but it's not like Twitch. You not be expected to delete an off-color comment the second it happens. Okay. Well, and I'm even the moderation part too, like from like blocking certain terms and those kind of things. I'm more confident in that. It's just I've been involved in some Discord servers in other places, not in video games, but in other places, and I always feel like I'm not doing a good enough job, like contributing, like just not checking it enough, or when I am at a computer all day long, like not logging in and saying something, right? So that's some of my fears, but yeah, we should definitely talk, and I appreciate you even jumping into the stream and giving us a chance to communicate that way. And also, this is one of my favorite things that I've been able to figure out in my life is when I'm not the best at something, or when I'm not even good at something, I love talking to people who are who are better, even if they're not like experts. If you're better at it than me, I'm going to listen to you and I'm going to take your advice. So large Discords are totally overwhelming. Yeah, let's do it for sure. And be sure to check out the Nintendo Nerds YouTube. You can put this in our chat. I don't think I have links enabled, but if you want to tell us, primarily YouTube is what I got the gist of looking at your Twitter profile, but I'm not entirely sure. If you want us to look for you somewhere, let us know in the chat for sure. It's time for sports. Sports news at 8:43 this morning, West Coast time, 11:43 on the East. Atlanta Falcons have named defensive coordinator Raheem Morris as the interim head coach. They fired Dan Quinn on Monday. Also got rid of their general manager, Thomas Dimitroff. That was after the loss to the Panthers, 23-16. They're 0-5 for the first time since 1987. Another firing, too. The Chicago White Sox got rid of Rick Renteria. Despite the fact that the team made the playoffs for the first time in 12 years, he led them to a 35-25 record in this pandemic-shortened season. I was kind of surprised to see that, but I don't have my pulse on baseball as much as I do the NFL, so I don't know if, it's been in the making, if there's still just, not any faith, if the GM's job was on the line, that kind of stuff. There's always politics with sports as well. Tommy Pham, if I'm saying that right, maybe it's Pham, recovering after he was stabbed yesterday. He's a Padres outfielder. I said yesterday, meant Sunday night. He was stabbed shortly after 10:30 p.m. One of the San Diego Union Tribune reporters reported. Apparently didn't know the attackers. They remain at large. A couple of COVID-19 related postponements. Colorado Rapids matches have been postponed for another 10 days. The Rapids have not played since they beat San Jose September 23rd. The MLS said the postponements were the result of a number of cases within the organization. Also, Vanderbilt's football game against Missouri on Saturday has been postponed. It says COVID-19 issues, this is according to the Associated Press, have left the Commodores without enough available players. Yikes. I mean, it's already been, I like the reporter, I can't remember the source, but talked about the NFL schedule kind of being like a Jenga board right now. And that's kind of what it feels like, right? Is football is definitely being kind of juggled and jostled around. For the first time in 7 years, UConn and Notre Dame women's basketball will not play in the regular season. The school announced on Monday that the game has been postponed because the Irish will need to reschedule their season slate because of COVID-19 as well. And Joe Morgan, the Hall of Fame second baseman for the Reds, died. He was 77. And Charlie Moore, a 400-meter hurdles champion from the 1952 Olympics, died as well. He was 91. But I bring up Morgan because I remember Morgan more for his work, in my lifetime, which was he was the longtime analyst for Sunday Night Baseball with John Miller on ESPN. And I absolutely love John Miller. So when they got rid of John Miller as the voice of Sunday Night Baseball, I was really bummed. John Miller's the voice of the San Francisco Giants. If you don't know this about me, I'm a play-by-play broadcaster primarily. And so, last night even my walk was... I can't believe he gave up that goal. My walk yesterday, I talked about it in the first hour. I went to Sean's house, which is about in fact, 24-minute walk if you get lost a little bit. Probably about a 20-minute walk if you just go straight there. And it was great because the Chargers Saints went into overtime. And so I got to listen to my favorite broadcaster, Kevin Harlan, for longer than I usually do because it went to overtime. So I got to listen to him and then the wrap-up as I watched the game end at Sean's house. But anyway, yeah, so I remember Joe Morgan more for that than I ever do. I didn't see him play, to my knowledge. So I guess he was really, really good, though. Whoops, that was a bad drop back. Oh, we can't keep it in either. My back buttons don't do me a lot of good on the hockey game. Oh, almost put the rebound in, too. Oh, no. That's not what I want to do. Pass the puck. My gosh. I was trying to get to that guy in the middle. Who was it? Was it Brody? It was Backlund. I was trying to get to Backlund that whole time, and he wouldn't pass it. By the way, for the purposes of video game graphics, like on-screen TV graphics, this score bar is pretty legit. I just want to point that out. Like, I love the look of that score bar. Oh, get the puck, dude. My wife was running through a list of chain restaurants that are closing because of, I'm sure the pandemic's taking a toll and all that stuff. I was up in Portland a couple weeks ago, and I saw that Fuddruckers was gone right off Interstate 5 south of Portland. And it was only Fuddruckers I knew of in the state. And I really liked Fuddruckers. And it could be just pure nostalgia from being a kid because, you get to go to, the bigger town in Montana and eat at a Fuddruckers. Oh, how did you not get that, Lucic? Nice. No, get out of there. Oh, I lost. That's a horrible turnover. All right, let me give you a trivia question if you want. Let me give you some choices. Islanders almost made the Stanley Cup final this year. I'm going to load up some categories. All right. Should have waited just a touch longer on that. We do science, general, or history. So let me know what you want to do. That's not what I wanted to do either. Let's keep it in. Nice job.
Scooped up by Mayfield. Regains possession
So
at
science,
third.
general, or history? I'll give you a trivia question.
Back to the blue line. Takes the pass. Great glove save.
250 gigs for that new COD. That's gonna be crazy.
Excellent stop here. He follows the puck and shuts down the
A
scoring.
quarter of a terabyte.
New York's not far from the finish line here as they lead it late in this third. And momentum on their side as they win the draw here inside the offensive zone. No room for that one to get through. Here's a pass down low. Good heads-up play in the defensive zone. Carries it across the line. Here's the pass. And the shot dies in the traffic jam.
That's close, James. The goaltender ends up beating
That was
the
close.
shooter to the post. As that looks like it's a goal, but it's shut down. Bennett's able to get everything behind this hit. He really lays one on here.
This is a face-off they'll definitely want to win here inside the offensive
I like how he says he definitely want to win. Like I don't want to win usually.
zone. And he wins the draw.
That was just wide.
Wants this chance late in the game. He just misses it.
I wanted that to get to 16.
I like this play here. It's a boring play, but it's the right play. Your team's up. It's the last part of the game. Get it going forward.
51 seconds.
Giordano's taking it from his own end. Moves it quickly over to Reeder. Back to the point it goes. Wide of the net.
I like the shot. He didn't miss it by much, though.
Keeps hold of the puck. Stopped by the goaltender. Slides it over to Broussard. Slides that one. He's got a step. What a back check effort there.
Sometimes you're in a race with the wrong guy. The forward had room. All of a sudden, it's all gone.
Tremendous. Blocked
Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do either.
by Peugeot.
Man, we had so many chances today.
Broussard's got it against the boards. Move to the middle, and that one's broken up by a great defensive play.
Go, Janikowski, go. We lose.
There's the final horn.
We lose. Big loss.
More shots generally translates to more scoring opportunities. In this case, more goals.
Every time I play this game on stream, I've never won a full game playing it on stream. Check out the highlights. Nice rebound put back by the Islanders. New York took a 1-0 lead, but Calgary would not be deterred. The Flames off the rebound. The putback is good. The Flames equaled things up at 1 apiece in the second, but in the third, early on, a goal put through seals an Islanders 2-1 win today on NHL 20. Oh, I did it again. I went to the wrong screen. All right. I don't see anyone interested in the trivia, which is absolutely fine. That is cool. We will do usually trivia sometime late in the 8 o'clock hour to get us up to the top of the hour. I did tell you I had some Obi-Wan news, so we will finish off with that. Talking about Ewan McGregor. You missed our Ewan McGregor, by the way, earlier on. Check out our YouTube page, as I thought he was the guy who sang Barely Breathing. Ewan McGregor, though, is going to continue to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, as Disney Plus is apparently going to have a Obi-Wan focused series. It makes me wonder, is that like a Mandalorian continuation, or is that going to be something in a different, completely different vein? I don't know. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi story, I suppose. It's not all me, but it certainly will be a lot of me, which is good. McGregor said on the Graham Norton show. We start shooting in March of next year. This according to Elise Schaefer of Variety. So that'll be kind of cool. He was on a Zoom appearance on Graham Norton's show, which, by the way, are some of the best clips on the internet when it comes to just scrolling through your Facebook feed. So there you go. Let's see. Also, Apple expected to reveal its iPhone at 10 a.m. this morning. Are you excited for it? Are you like, whatever? According to Mac Rumors, tech company likely to reveal an iPhone 12 with 5G capabilities. They'll also have an update on the HomePod speakers and more. It's an online-only event that starts at 10 a.m. this morning. All right. I think that's going to do it for our show today. Usually with you till 9 o'clock. Just happened to get done with that game, so I think I'm going to wrap things up. Big thanks to everyone who joined us this morning. Big thanks to Sean for filling us in with the GMS Morning Gaming News. Follow that hashtag on Twitter. We're at WatchGMS. You can see the latest updates that he found this morning. Shared some stories from IGN and Game Informer. Yeah, it was a fun show. Thanks, Nintendo. Yeah, appreciate you hanging out. We'll touch base with some Discord stuff down the road, and hopefully have that for you as we continue to kind of build this community based around a morning radio show that plays games. It'll be fun. 3 hours every single morning. Thanks for being with us. Until we talk to you again tomorrow, have a great rest of your Tuesday, October 13th, 2020. It's been a lot of fun. Gaming Morning Show.